23 lunchboxes, 23 backpacks, 23 empty desks. That's all that remained after Pine Valley Elementary's morning bus route disappeared into thin air. What construction workers found while expanding the highway in 2024 would finally answer the question that haunted families for over 3 decades. November 15th, 1991, Pine Valley, Oregon. At 7:30 a.m., Martha Henderson dropped her 9-year-old son Tommy at the bus stop. In his backpack, math homework, a thermos of chocolate milk, and his favorite Ninja Turtles action figure. Martha watched him climb aboard for the last time. School bus number 47 turned the corner, like it always did, and vanished. But it never reached the school. At 8:30 a.m., Principal Janet Morrison noticed something wrong. 23 students absent, all from the same bus route, all missing at once. Phone chains started, panic spread, search helicopters launched. The driver, Gerald Parks, 58 years old, 20 years of experience behind the wheel. That morning at breakfast, he'd told his wife, "Weather's foggy today." "I'll be careful." His last radio transmission came at 7:58 a.m. "Everything's fine," heading through Miller's Pass. Miller's Pass, 3 miles of narrow road carved between dense forest on both sides. Right there, Bus 47 ceased to exist. Search teams combed every inch of ground for 6 weeks. Dogs, divers, military helicopters. Nothing. No tire tracks. No crash evidence. No witnesses. The bus had simply evaporated. The FBI stepped in. Kidnapping theories emerged. Even alien stories circulated. But the truth was far darker. 23 families kept waiting. Bedrooms left untouched. Birthdays celebrated with empty chairs. Sarah Williams kept the porch light on for her 7-year-old daughter Emily for 33 years. March 2nd, 2024. Route 49 Expansion Project. Construction worker Marcus Cole was operating the excavator, digging beneath the highway. 30 feet down, metal struck metal. At first, he thought it was an old pipeline, but the metal was yellow, and there were numbers visible. 4-7. Marcus's words over the radio went into the record. I think we found a bus." But how was this possible? The bus was 30 feet beneath the road, buried in earth, decades of asphalt layered above it, and strangest of all, the bus was intact. Even the windows weren't broken. The FBI sealed the area within 6 hours. Special teams arrived. They carefully excavated around the bus. What they found inside would solve a 33-year mystery, but create even bigger questions. The bus interior was empty, but not completely empty. 23 backpacks still hung from the seats, placed neatly. 23 lunchboxes sat on the benches. Some opened, a bite or two taken from sandwiches. Tommy Henderson's Ninja Turtles figure sat beside the driver's seat. But neither the children nor driver Gerald Parks were there. Criminal analyst Dr. Helen Ross examined the bus. What she found defied explanation. No signs of struggle, no panic. It's like everyone simply vanished at the same moment, silently. But the shocking discovery came on the front windshield. From inside, written in a child's finger on the foggy glass, "They're taking us down." Down? What did that mean? Further excavation beneath the bus revealed another discovery 10 feet deeper. A concrete tunnel. Professionally constructed, dating to the 1950s. Cold War shelter? No. Something older. Something different. Children's drawings covered the tunnel walls. Chalk art. 23 different handwriting styles, all depicting the same theme. People living underground. A world without sun. And one word written over and over: sanctuary. The FBI re-examined 1991 records and uncovered a shocking detail. The day the bus vanished, abnormal seismic activity was recorded in the area. An underground collapse had occurred, but how had no one connected it to the bus? Deeper into the tunnels, more discoveries emerged. Living quarters, beds, and most disturbing, a classroom. The date November 15th, 1991, still written on the blackboard. Subject, mathematics. Topic, fractions. Dr. Ross's team collected DNA evidence, hair strands, nail clippings, fabric fibers, all belonging to the 23 children. But something was wrong. The samples spanned different time periods, some days old, some months, even years. Sarah Williams collapsed when she found her daughter Emily's hair clip in the tunnel. It was clean, almost new, as if placed there yesterday. Deeper still, they found a second bus, Nitin Sitito model. Inside, belongings of other children. Who were these children? Records showed a similar disappearance in 1978. 17 children, never found. But it had been suppressed, covered up. Then a third bus, from 1965. A fourth from 1952. The pattern was identical. Every 13 years on the same route, buses full of children had been pulled underground. But by whom? And why? At the tunnel's deepest point, they found a metal door. The inscription changed everything. Sanctuary Project, 1947. Safe haven for the next generation. Behind the door lay a massive underground complex, abandoned, but once inhabited. Kitchens, dormitories, classrooms, even a playground. Photos on the walls, smiling children, but no adults. Documents in the archive room revealed the horrifying truth. In 1947, a secret government project had begun to protect selected children underground during nuclear war and establish a new civilization. But the project had spiraled out of control. The administrators believed children would better adapt to the new world. They wanted to separate them from families, raise them underground, create a pure society. Every 13 years, a new harvest. Gerald Parks's journal was found in a hidden compartment of the driver's cabin. The final entry was devastating. I know the route. They prepared me years ago. Today it's my turn. Take the children down. They said it's better for them. The world above is dying anyway. But I can't do it. Can't look at their eyes. They'll never see their parents again. Just like the children from 78. They're still down there. Old people now. They've forgotten the sun. Forgive me, Martha. I love you. But where were the 23 children? At the tunnel's furthest point, the FBI team found another door. This one wasn't locked. The sound from inside, children singing. When the door opened, they faced the impossible. 23 children were there. But despite 33 years passing, they hadn't aged. Tommy Henderson was still 9. Emily Williams still 7. All the same age. Who are you? Tommy asked. Are you from above? From the real world. The children had been living the same day for 33 years. Same lessons, same meals, same songs. Some chemical gas, experimental drug, whatever it was, had stopped their aging. But their minds held 33 years of memories, the madness of living the same day thousands of times. Emily Williams asked about her mother. Is she still waiting? Does she still leave the light on? The children were brought up one by one. When they saw the sun, they closed their eyes. They hadn't seen it in 33 years, the reunions with families. When Martha Henderson embraced her son, Tommy asked, Mom, why did you get old? Media went wild. The scientific community was in shock. How is this possible? Did age-stopping technology exist in 1991? But the real question was different. Who had been running this project? Who had been collecting these children since 1947? The answer was in Gerald Parks's journal's last page. A name, The Shepherd. FBI databases searched this code name. The truth that emerged was someone everyone knew. Currently 95 years old, living in Pine Valley, beloved retired teacher, William Hartley. When Hartley was arrested, all he said was, "I saved them. The world above is rotting. Those below would remain pure, forever children, forever innocent." But where were the children from 1978, 1965, 1952? Found in deeper tunnels, aged, forgotten, some insane, living underground for 40, 50, 60 years. They'd forgotten the sun. Some had given birth to their own children, raised underground too. 3 generations without seeing sunlight. Martha Henderson visited her son in the hospital. Tommy was physically 9, but his eyes held 42 years of exhaustion. "Mom," he said, "I waited for you every day. 12,045 days. I counted them all." Scientists examined the children. Their cells had stopped aging, but their brains had stored information normally. A 9-year-old body with a 42-year-old mind. The combination drove most insane. Emily Williams told her mother one night, "In Sanctuary they taught us, the world above will burn, we'll stay safe. But I would have preferred to burn with you." Only 5 of the 23 children could return to normal life. The others continue receiving psychological treatment. Tommy Henderson now lives in a special facility as a 9-year-old child with a 42-year-old mind. Every day, he looks at the calendar and asks, "Is today real?" Documents from William Hartley's trial revealed the Sanctuary Project was still active. 12 more underground complexes across America, all containing children. Some had been there for 70 years. Pine Valley families got their children back, but they weren't the same children. Living the same day for 33 years, singing the same song, attending the same lesson, had changed them. Sarah Williams said in an interview, "I got my daughter back, but she's not my little Emily anymore. Her eyes hold thousands of days, thousands of times asking, 'Where's Mommy?' And I wasn't there." Bus 47 is now in FBI custody. Children's DNA still inside. Lunch boxes returned to families. Tommy's Ninja Turtles figure is still with Martha. Sometimes she holds it and cries. And there's one detail no one can explain. All the children share the same dream. Every night for 33 years, the same dream. A yellow bus, forever turning through Miller's Pass. They're inside, smiling, going to school, and always the same voice. "Just wait a little longer. You'll go home soon." But home wasn't 33 years ago anymore. William Hartley was sentenced to life in prison. His last words, "I protected them." "What did you do?" "You destroyed the world and let your children watch. I gave them eternal childhood." Pine Valley Elementary still has 23 empty desks as a memorial. Every November 15th, the school observes a minute of silence. That day, no one wants to ride the school bus. And sometimes, on foggy mornings, drivers passing through Miller's Pass swear they see a yellow school bus. Children inside singing happy. But when they get closer, the bus vanishes. Maybe they're really there. Maybe those 33 years of living the same endless day left a mark in the space-time fabric. Maybe they're still on that bus, that morning, going to school. Forever. Tommy Henderson said only one thing about it. "Sometimes I'm still on the bus. Sometimes it's still November 15th, 1991. And sometimes I'm not even sure this is real." The Sanctuary Project was shut down, or so they said. But across America, there are still missing buses, still unfound children, and still some foggy mornings, some bus drivers radio in, "Everything's fine." Is it really? But the story doesn't end here. The search of Hartley's house revealed a hidden compartment. Inside, dozens of files, photographs, and most importantly, a map. 47 different locations marked across America, each with a date: 1952, 1965, 1978, 1991, 2004, 2017. The 2004 and 2017 dates were shocking. This meant the Sanctuary Project was still continuing. Agent Sarah Mitchell noticed a pattern while studying the map. All marked locations were old bus routes, small towns, rural areas, places that could stay under the radar. And they all shared one feature: nearby abandoned mines or underground structures. "My God," Mitchell whispered, "they're still out there." March 17th, 2024. Riverside, Montana. The FBI team reached the 2017 location on the map. Local records confirmed that 7 years ago, a school bus had crashed and 19 children had died. But no bodies were ever recovered. Fire had destroyed everything, they said. The old mine entrance was covered in brush, but thermal cameras showed movement underground, living heat signatures, multiple. The operation began at midnight. Special forces entered silently. The tunnels resembled Pine Valleys, but more modern, more organized. And inside, 19 children were found. They'd been there 7 years, but unlike Pine Valley's children, they hadn't stopped aging. They'd grown normally. The oldest was now 18. And the most terrifying part, they didn't want to leave. "This is our home," said the oldest, a girl introduced as Jessica. "Up there is dangerous. The shepherd taught us. The world is burning. Climate change. Wars. We're safe here." The children were brainwashed. 7 years underground, hearing only terrible news about the outside world. Fake news, manipulated footage. They believed the world above had been destroyed. "Our families are dead," said 14-year-old Michael. "In the nuclear war. Shepard showed us. We saw the videos. But the families were alive. They'd been searching for 7 years. Jessica's mother, Karen, broke down when she saw her daughter. "Baby, I'm your mother. I'm alive. I've been looking for you." But Jessica didn't recognize her. "My mother is dead. Who are you? Is this a test?" Rehabilitation took months. Some children accepted reality. Some rejected it. 15-year-old David still wanted to return underground. "I was safe there," he said. "There were rules. Everything was clear. Here, everything is complicated." Then came a bombshell development. Tommy Henderson, one of Pine Valley's rescued children, woke screaming one night. Nurses rushed in. Tommy was sweating, shaking. "I remembered," he said. "I remembered." "What did you remember, Tommy?" "The shepherd. It wasn't William Hartley. He was just the assistant. I saw the real shepherd. Once, a young man. His eyes were so cold. And he said, Tommy's voice trembled. "You're special, Tommy. One day you'll be a shepherd too. One day you'll save children too." The FBI mobilized immediately. If the real shepherd was still out there and young, the project was continuing. Tommy began remembering more. They were teaching us how to make selections, which children were worth saving, the quiet ones, the lonely ones, the ones no one would miss. "They were training you." Tommy nodded. "All of us. They called us survivors. When the world above ended, we would build the new world, and those after us, they would continue." Suddenly everything became clear. This wasn't just kidnapping. It was a cult, a belief system, a self-renewing, growing structure. Victims eventually became perpetrators. March 25th, 2024. Unknown location. The young man sat before the monitors. Screens showed feeds from across America. School buses, playgrounds, shopping centers. His phone rang. "Yes?" Hartley talked. He gave up the locations. "I know. I'm watching. Sanctuary 7 and Sanctuary 12 have been evacuated, but it's fine. Plans have changed." What do we do? The young man smiled. Cold, calculated. They're using old methods. Buses, underground, too obvious. We're the new generation of shepherds. We're digital. He looked at one monitor, an online gaming platform. Thousands of children playing. We don't need to physically take them anymore. We take their minds while they're home, safe, with their families. And the best part, no one notices. Project Sanctuary 2.0 begins now. In Pine Valley, Tommy Henderson couldn't sleep. Doctors had given him medication, but it didn't work because Tommy had remembered something else, something he hadn't told them. While underground, they'd injected him with something, called it a tracker. If he escaped, they could find him, and Tommy could still feel it, the small lump in his neck, something under the skin. That night, Tommy looked in the mirror. His eyes were changing, slowly, growing cold, frozen, just like the young shepherd's eyes. "No," he whispered, "I'm not one of them." But there was a voice inside, small, insidious. "Not yet, but you will be. You all will. Survivors always become shepherds. That's the rule." Emily Williams was experiencing the same thing, waking up sweating strange dreams. Dreams where she was selecting children, determining which ones would be saved. "Mom," she said one morning, "I think there's someone else inside me." Sarah Williams took her daughter to the doctor. An MRI was done. The doctors were shocked. Emily's brain showed abnormal activity. In the hippocampus, the memory center, it appeared as if two different consciousnesses existed. One was Emily, 7 years old. The other was 40, cold, calculating, a shepherd. "How is this possible?" Sarah asked. The doctor hesitated. "I think they didn't just give them chemicals. Somehow, through hypnosis perhaps, or another method, they implanted another consciousness, like a program waiting to be triggered." All 23 children were tested. All had the same condition, dual consciousness. And slowly, the second consciousness was strengthening. William Hartley gave an interview from prison. The reporter asked, "Why children?" Hartley smiled. "Children are pure. Adults are corrupted. But children, they can be reprogrammed. And once programmed, they stay that way forever. Deep inside, they'll always be part of Sanctuary. So they can never escape? Escape? They already escaped. From you, from this rotten world. I gave them purpose, a future. They're special. They're the chosen. But you're caught now. The project is over." Hartley laughed, cold, metallic. "Over? Poor child. This is just the beginning. Every rescued child is a seed, and seeds grow, spread. One day, maybe 10 years, maybe 20, one of those children will wake up and become a shepherd, and the cycle continues." "You mean Tommy Henderson?" Hartley's eyes gleamed. "Tommy is special. I chose him. He's the perfect candidate. Smart, quiet, obedient. And now the shepherd is inside him, waiting, growing. One day it will emerge." The FBI put Tommy and the other children under protection. But how could they protect them from the enemy within? Dr. Helen Ross developed a theory. If they could implant a second consciousness, we can remove it. But it's risky. Could damage the children's original personalities. Families faced an impossible choice. Accept their children as they were and wait for the bomb inside, or risk a dangerous operation to remove the second consciousness. Martha Henderson was crying. "I just found him. I don't want to lose him again." But Tommy came to his mother one night, his eyes clear, determined. "Mom, remove this thing inside me. Please, I can feel it. Growing, trying to take over. Sometimes its thoughts feel like mine. I see children and I want to select them." "Select what?" Tommy's voice shook. Which ones go to sanctuary? The operation was planned. All 23 children would be treated simultaneously because Dr. Ross had discovered something else. The second consciousnesses were connected, a kind of mental network. If one triggered, all could trigger. April 15th, 2024. Operation Day. 23 operating rooms, 23 children, hundreds of doctors, nurses, and families waiting outside. The operation used experimental technology, focused ultrasound, sound waves targeting specific brain regions, to destroy the neurons where the second consciousness lived. The first hours went well. Children were stable. Second consciousness activity decreasing. But then Tommy Henderson's monitors went crazy. Heart rate spiked. Brain activity exploded. What's happening? Tommy's eyes opened, but the look wasn't Tommy's. Cold, calculating, old. "You can't stop us," he said. The voice was Tommy's, but the tone was different. "I am thousands of years old. The shepherd has always existed, will always exist." Emily Williams woke too. Same cold stare. "We are legion. We are many." All 23 children began speaking simultaneously. Same voice, same tone. "Sanctuary is eternal. Children will always disappear, always be found, always be changed. This is the cycle. This is the rule." Dr. Ross frantically increased the ultrasound power. The children screamed, but as one voice, harmonic, terrifying, and then silence. Monitors returned to normal. Children slept again. Second consciousness activity gone, completely erased. The operation appeared successful. When the children woke, they were themselves. Tommy was just Tommy. Emily was just Emily. But at night, they still had the same dream. A yellow bus, turning forever, and inside, not themselves, but other children. Children not yet lost, but who would be. "It's not a dream," Tommy said one night. "It's a warning. There are others, still out there, still collecting." And he was right. April 28th, 2024. Texas, a small town. The school bus left at 7:30 a.m. as usual. 31 children inside. A sunny Monday morning. At 8:15 a.m. the bus vanished. Search helicopters, dogs, FBI. No trace, as if it evaporated. But Tommy Henderson, 2,000 miles away in Oregon, suddenly woke, sweating. "It started," he said. "It started again." Emily Williams woke too. Sarah too. Michael too. All at the same time. All felt the same thing. The connection hadn't been severed, just weakened. And now, as new children were taken underground, the old sanctuary children could feel it. "I can find them," Tommy told the FBI. "I can feel where they are." "How?" Tommy touched his neck. The tracker was still there. But it wasn't just tracking him. He could track too. See the entire sanctuary network. "Give me a map. I'll show you." Tommy marked 15 locations on the map. All active, all have children. Some new, some there for years. FBI operations began. 15 locations raided simultaneously. Hundreds of children rescued. Some there for days, some for years. But the young shepherd wasn't caught. Always one step ahead, as if he knew what the FBI would do. Until Tommy realized something. "He's in the FBI," he said. "Someone inside. I can feel it. Watching us." Investigation began. And indeed, a young agent in the FBI's Missing Children Unit, David Mitchell, 32 years old, 10 years with the FBI. But when his records were examined, David Mitchell had vanished in 1987 at age 5. Found 3 years later, returned to family. He was one of Sanctuary's first children, and now he was the shepherd. When they tried to arrest Mitchell, he vanished, but left a message. The cycle cannot be broken. Every rescued child, is a potential shepherd. Every shepherd saves hundreds of children. Exponential growth. Within 50 years, the entire world becomes sanctuary, not underground, everywhere, because the line between normal world and sanctuary will blur, and no one will notice. Tommy Henderson now works for the FBI, a 9-year-old body with a 42-year-old mind. His only job, find other sanctuary locations. Every night, he has the same dream. The bus turning, children singing, and each time, new faces. Children not yet lost, but who will be? We can't stop it, he sometimes says. Too big, too old. Maybe Hartley was right. Maybe the world really is burning, and maybe sanctuary is the only safe place. His mother holds him. Don't think that, baby. We're safe. We're together. But Tommy looks out the window, sees children playing in the street, and the voice inside, the never-silent voice whispers, which one would you choose? Which one deserves sanctuary? And Tommy closes his eyes, fights. Every day he fights. But how long can he last? Life in Pine Valley tries to return to normal. But there's no normal left. 23 families have their children back, but they're not the same children. School buses still run, but now every bus has GPS cameras, panic buttons. And every morning, every parent putting their child on the bus has the same fear. What if this time? What if today? Buses still pass through Miller's Pass. On foggy mornings, drivers still see it sometimes. A yellow bus, children inside, turning forever. Maybe real, maybe imagination, maybe, as Tommy says, a tear in space-time. The mark left by living the same day for 33 years. The FBI still searches for David Mitchell, other shepherds, unknown sanctuary locations, but every time they find one, 2 more appear. Like Hydra, cut one head, 2 grow back. And the most terrifying truth, how many children are missing right now? How many in sanctuary? How many waiting to be saved? No one knows. No one can know. Because some were never reported missing. Some were said to have moved. Some recorded as accidents. The system is so large, so old, so entrenched. Maybe it will never end. Maybe Mitchell was right. Maybe in 50 years, there will be no difference between the normal world and sanctuary. Maybe we're all, without knowing it, already in sanctuary. Tommy Henderson once said, I learned something underground. Reality is relative. If you tell enough people a lie for long enough, it becomes truth. We lived the same day for 33 years. For us, that was real. Now I'm here. This is real. But which is more real? Which is the dream? And then he added, sometimes I think, what if I'm still there? What if this is part of sanctuary too? What if we never escaped? Martha Henderson looks at her son, a 9-year-old child, but his eyes hold centuries. Is it real? Tommy asks every morning. It's real, baby, Martha says. But sometimes she's not sure either, because what is reality? In sanctuary, there was only one rule. Reality is what the shepherd says it is. And the shepherd? The shepherd is everywhere, always, waiting, watching, and one day watching for the right moment. Because the cycle cannot be broken. The cycle is eternal, just like the yellow bus, turning forever, waiting forever, at Miller's Pass, on a foggy morning, with 23 children, or maybe 24, maybe 25. Who's counting anymore? Who remembers? Sanctuary remembers. Sanctuary always remembers. And sanctuary never forgets.